Okay, everyone, I'm Dr. Fryson, and we're going to talk about the Gemini rising, March 2025 general reading. Stay tuned to the end of the reading because I'm going to pull the lesson card for you, and we're going to get into the energy that's taking place. So there's a lot of energy around the planetary movement. The planets are lining up with each other, and so everything is kind of going fast and furious at one time. And the planets that are really riding together: Venus, Moon, Mercury, and the North Node. And for you, all of that energy is taking place in Pisces, and it's taking place in your 10th house of careers. So that means you're going to see a lot of actual changes and expansion in that area. The planets that are showing the greatest degree of influence are Venus, followed by the Moon. The Moon and Venus do not really get along with each other. So you're going to have to be careful because in your career, you can have some times where you are not getting along with people, perhaps older figure or older female figure that's in charge, and perhaps you're not seeing eye to eye with that individual. Perhaps they aren't recognizing your creativity. They aren't recognizing what you contribute. So you have to be careful with that. If you are thinking about changing careers, this is a good time for you to go into an industry that involves writing, which is your natural talent. This is a time for you to go into something where you're writing books, writing novels. This is a time for you to write something about fantasy. It doesn't have to be about a fictitious person doing something specific. It could be about a world that you create that doesn't exist, and some other type of fantasy. Is not just a person oriented, but this is a good time for that. This is a good time for you to look at your options when it comes to a career, to look at what do you need to do. Should you go back to school? What are your options, the avenues that you can take? And this is an excellent time to make a plan so that you can allow those things to actually become a reality in your life. I caution you to not have as much lazy energy when it comes to your career life, because with that moon there, it kind of brings a little bit of the Venus energy down. Although Venus being in Pisces is a good energy on one level, because, Pisces dreamy, Venus is dreamy. Together, that is a lot of dreamy energy, which could prevent you from doing the things that you actually need to do in order to move forward. Okay. So pay attention to that. Let's look at the other energy that is prevalent, strong with the planets moving. We have the Jupiter energy that is taking place. Jupiter being in the 11th house. So Jupiter is moving into Saturn space. Those two energies don't necessarily get along either. For you, that's the energy of your body. That's the energy of your head in this area and your presence in this world. So I would caution you to be careful during this time. If you're having sinus congestions, headaches, any of those things, make sure you take care of them. You pay attention to them. Get yourself checked out, because this is a good time for you to watch that area. The other thing that I have here is that there's another energy in the second house, which is your energy of money. Remember, money and career are not the same things. Career is what you do for the long term. Money is just your income. And income can fluctuate from different resources, right? You can have investments, and that energy could fluctuate. You can have not inheritance, because the second house is not inheritance, but you can have money come in. People owe you money, pay you money. There's a lot of different things with the money, the second house. So there's an energy shifting in the second house. And for you, that is closely related to your home type energy. So perhaps the value of your home is going to decrease during this time. I would really watch out. Perhaps there's going to be some increases in what you have to pay regarding your house during this time. Pay attention to that. Check your statements. Make sure you're not being overcharged for anything, because that could come up a lot during this season. And the next one we have is the Saturn energy being in the seventh house. The seventh house is your house of partnerships. And for you, there's not a lot going on in your area of partnerships, meaning a committed relationship this month, but you have to be careful because Saturn is kind of a um, old man kind of energy, meaning that you could have a relationship that's really stable. And if you're not careful, if you don't put adequate energy into it, you can see it kind of falter a little bit. But for the most part, the only relationship that I can see being of a concern with you is with maybe your grandchildren or your father figure during this time. Right now, there's nothing really nothing else in your chart, and I am looking at your chart. So if you see me looking down, that's what that's about. Okay, so there's nothing else really in your chart that's geared towards the family. Um, Now let's move on. There's another thing that's happening if we shift our timeline a little bit. Let's shift our timeline for the second week of March. And during the second week of March, we have a little bit of energy that changes because remember, these planets are moving, they don't stay in the same position. And what we're going to see is that the Mars and the Moon energy is going to join together. And that energy is going to go past your actual first house, which means one, Mars give it, Mars energy in itself likes to be home at home, and it's not really about activity as much, but the I'm sorry, the moon energy likes to be home and not about activity as much, but the Mars energy is on the go. And right now, the Mars energy has a little bit of an advantage over the moon energy. So you might see yourself doing more activities outside of the home during the second week of the month. And that's actually a favorable time for you to do those activities is during the second week. Okay. Let's go forward to our third week. And our third week, we're going to see some things shift again. And this time, we're going to see the shift with the home energy into your fourth house because these planets continue to rotate. And this is where secrets are going to start being revealed. And these secrets could be about a mother figure, these secrets can be about a wife, these secrets can be about a female of some sort. Some type of feminine energy has a secret that could come to the light during that third week. Pay attention to that. I wrote down in here, there was another thing. Let's see, let me move this. Yes, there it is. Saturn. Saturn energy is going to get a boost during this third week, which the good part about Saturn is that it is devoted to hard work. It means that if there's plans being placed, this could be a week where you actually put the work in on those plans, and that is going to be favorable for you. And that energy is going to be there only for a short period of time. So let's see, that's March 15th is a really good day to work on whatever plans that you would like to get accomplished because Saturn actually brings a little umph to it. Okay, makes it more favorable for you. Now, the other part about the house, there's going to be some explosive energy. And when I say explosive energy, that means argumentative energy. So when it comes to your home during that third week, be careful. You know, if you got people that you don't normally see eye to eye, like a child and a mother not really seeing eye to eye, allow grace to take place because if not, you guys are going to have a huge argument that's going to take place. And it's hard to overcome these arguments if you continue to have them. All right, let's go forward to our next week. Okay, now, in the next week, we have more of the same energy taking place, except for the moon portion of it has shifted. So with the moon shifting, you're going to now see the secrets in the relationship. This is in your partnership, right? Those things. And that's with an older woman. So perhaps a mother figure is not going to like the person that you're bringing home. So perhaps you're bringing home a new partner and the mother is like, I'm not feeling it. Don't really like this person. So be careful. Be careful with the way you introduce people because that is also of great value. And then you're going to end the month with all of these energies lined up together in your actual ninth house again, dealing with the Pisces. And this is where it gets a little tricky. It gets a little tricky because there's going to be too many energies competing with each other in your life. So you're definitely going to have to write down what's most important for you and work on what's most important. And then the next thing, because you're going to have issues with your mom. You're going to have issues with your children. You're going to have issues with your career. You're going to have issues with your loved ones. And when I say issues, it's not necessarily bad, but there's going to be situations that come up with all of those different entities and energies at the same time. And you have to make sure you're giving the appropriate amount of your energy to those different areas during that last week, because it's going to be a lot to take place and a lot to handle. If you make a plan and work diligently through your plan, this could be a very good week for you financially. This could be a very good week for you to explore new ideas. Very good week for you to explore spirituality and see some fruits coming from that. A good week for you to meditate. This is actually okay, I just saw a little energy that is not so good for the world, but that's okay. We'll talk about that in the world video. Okay. All right. Anything else I wrote for you? That's all that I wrote down for you for Gemini. Now I pulled a card for you, and that card says acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. And that's going to be your lesson for the month of March. Focus your entire month of March on learning to accept the things that you cannot change. You can take this and use this as an affirmation. I accept the things that I cannot change. So when these different energies come up, you say, I accept the things that I cannot change, and move forward. Okay? If you like this video, of course, give it a thumbs up, share, leave me some comments, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about the new formats, because I'm always changing to better bring information out. You know, it's a lot of energy, and I'm just trying to get it to you the best way that I can. So let me know your thoughts, you guys. You can also go to my link tree, Dr. Fryson, and you can see all of my services that I offer, or at least links to them. Y'all take care. Bye.